Police state.
Face recognition tech used by British cops. The British nanny state has millions of surveillance cameras, but even with those legion of lenses, UK police tech still struggles with face recognition. New findings by British newspaper The Independent say that facial recognition technology employed by the UK's Metropolitan Police Force is wrong 98% of the time. The newspaper reports that of 104 alerts created by the force's face recognition system, only 2 were correct. Responding to the report, the Metropolitan Police told The Independent they were trialing the technology and that there's no current end date for this. The cops also said no arrests have been made via the tech and that all false positives are deleted within 30 days, while other non-alerting images are deleted immediately. Elsewhere, The Independent also found that facial recognition used by police in Wales has been wrong 2,400 times since last June. The newspaper reports that most of this happened last summer in Cardiff when the city was hosting the UEFA Champions League final. Less than 10% were accurate matches. According to the BBC, South Wales Police said the system has gotten better over time. Somebody or something might be watching. Watching me, watching you. Big Brother will be watching out for sports fans at Super Bowl 52 this weekend. When Minneapolis hosts Super Bowl 52 this weekend, law enforcement will be watching out for public safety through the lenses of some 2,000 fixed surveillance cameras. Thousands of fans will descend on the city where 3,000 police officers will be on duty. Around 2,000 officers will be equipped with a video application that lets them record and broadcast suspicious activity to a command center. There, 80 staff from various law enforcement agencies will monitor public safety on the day and coordinate accordingly across Minneapolis. According to Pioneer Press, command center officials will watch the movements of officers in real time by tracking blue and white badges on a map. Officials will also be able to monitor and deal with most incidents within the U.S. Bank Stadium via enhanced surveillance technology. Similar operations have taken place in other cities hosting the Super Bowl. Big Brother on wheels. You probably know your phone is spying on you, but what you might not realize is that your car is doing it too. Connected cars can track and monitor location, driving habits, fuel usage, and even music preferences and relay this information back to automakers. The data is supposedly meant to update car features and improve safety, and in some cases help law enforcement evaluate accidents or crashes. But it also puts consumers at risk. Location data can be used to infer sensitive information about a person's health, religion, or political affiliation, and a unique profile can be developed with enough data points. With no car privacy rule to regulate them, automakers can partner with data firms and generate revenue when the information is sold to third-party companies. Car companies technically inform customers about the data collection, but they're often buried in lengthy contracts. Despite claims that driver data is not shared without consent, a lack of transparency means customers don't know what happens to their data and how exactly it is used.
Privacy? What privacy? A Georgetown law report has found that a biometric exit program for airline passengers is improperly gathering data on Americans and violating their privacy. The Department of Homeland Security has installed facial scanners in 9 international airports across the U.S. as part of their biometric exit program. The program is part of efforts to nab travelers who are overstaying their visas or using fraudulent documents. Passengers' faces are scanned at the boarding gate and matched to a DHS database for verification. Face scans are mandatory for foreign nationals, but U.S. citizens on international flights can opt out and have their documents manually checked. It's unclear, though, if American passengers are being informed of this option. According to Homeland Security's own data, 1 in 25 travelers are erroneously rejected by the system despite using valid credentials. The technology also reportedly had high error rates and often inaccurately identified women and African Americans.
再见, People's Republic. China is curbing the transportation rights of state-deemed social miscreants. Effective May 1st, the People's Republic of China will ban citizens with low social credit scores from using flight and rail transport for 1 year. Those prohibited include people who caused trouble on flights, as well as individuals who used out-of-date tickets or those who were caught smoking on trains. Also affected are people who didn't pay fines and businesses who did not pay their employees social insurance. According to Reuters, China's yet-to-be finalized social credit system operates on the doctrine of once untrustworthy, always restricted. And who says whether you're untrustworthy? The Communist Party of China, that's who. The Internet on Communism. Vietnam now has thought cops, thousands of them. Vietnam has tasked 10,000 members of a new military internet unit with countering wrong views online. Reportedly, these so-called cyber troops are directed to combat wrongful information and anti-state propaganda. Data from internet watchdog Freedom House lists Vietnam as one of the world's worst places for internet freedom. According to Human Rights Watch, the country jailed 19 bloggers and activists in 2016. Internet penetration is high in Vietnam. Around half of its 90 million strong population are connected, and it is said to be one of the top 10 countries for Facebook users by numbers. But can these 10,000 thought cops police data from 40 million something internet users? Only time will tell. Privacy violations for all. An international human rights organization has found that China is gathering DNA from a region in the far west that's home to a much oppressed ethnic minority. The Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region is home to about 10 million Uyghurs, a Muslim Turkic group with a long history of discord with the mainland. As such, it's one of the most tightly controlled parts of China. According to Human Rights Watch, authorities in Xinjiang are now collecting DNA samples and biometric data from all residents aged 12 to 65. Police officers collect photos, fingerprints, household registration data, and iris scans during home visits or at designated collection points. Blood types and DNA are gathered through a government health exam called Physicals for All. Data is transmitted to a database and linked to the individual's national ID number. People originally from Xinjiang who have moved to other parts of China are also required to submit their information locally. Over 18 million people have participated in the physical as of November 2017. Though Physicals for All is supposedly voluntary, residents are expected and often pressured to take part. Human Rights Watch has slammed the mandatory data banking as a gross violation of human rights, adding that carrying it out under the guise of a free healthcare program makes it even more disturbing. Talk about a brain drain. The People's Republic of China is sponsoring research into technology that scans workers' brains for the emotional state. According to the South China Morning Post, Chinese factory, military, and train workers are all wearing helmets that can track their emotions. Train drivers wearing the tech get a zap if they doze off, as could pilots if the technology ever comes to planes. And, of course, it's all being watched by an AI. According to the MIT Technology Review, the system probably doesn't work despite claims it boosted a factory's profits by over $300 million. The South China Morning Post reports researchers are also developing a new version with cameras and body-wide sensors for use in hospitals. This would be able to monitor facial expressions, body temperature, and movements. And all that, Tomo Sapiens, sounds like the beginnings of the thought police, with a live feed to your brain.